Ladies and gentlemen, the Adult Baby Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 125. I am B.
I'm Chic.
And I'm Chris.
And hello everybody. We have a special guest today. It's my new personal nutritionist and fellow Daler and friend, Katina. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Katina, welcome to the Adult Baby Show. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Are you embarrassed to say that you're his personal
Nutritionist
guru?
I mean, we just started today, so
right.
Yes, it's very, very new.
Yeah, but he's been very candid about that he's not healthy at all.
No.
Wow.
Nobody believes him that he's gonna, go through with this.
I
Right,
hope he
B?
does.
But do you think it's gonna? Do you think? What are your thoughts? B.
Oh,
You there?
well,
Wow.
I want to say one thing. Chris, are you all right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You look like something happened.
Something was up with the audio for a second. It's
Oh,
fine.
all right. Do you now, Katina? Do you know me and Chic did like a weight loss competition a couple years ago, and
No.
he actually gained weight during it. So like that,
He did.
like the first night, I was like, "We're gonna start eating healthy. We're gonna get into it," and he gained weight. It was like the most.
I didn't gain weight.
You gained
I just
2
didn't
pounds.
lose any. No, I didn't. You have to go back to the tape. I think
No,
I
you
lost
gained
1
weight.
pound. I lost 1 pound.
You didn't lose weight.
Gained.
You definitely didn't
Gained.
lose
You were
weight.
up.
Whatever. I hovered around the same. I just didn't. I didn't try. I mean, it is what it is.
That's his problem. He doesn't try.
No, but this was a year ago or a year and a half ago, whatever it was. And I told you, man. I've been.
Oh, he's
happy
a new
the last
guy
few
now.
things.
New man.
I'm a brand new.
I have a
guy,
question though.
and,
What's the goal? Is the goal to drop weight or to what are
the
you
goal is
trying
to
to
get
do?
healthy for me
Okay.
at least.
Yeah, and
But,
I wouldn't
mean,
my clients weigh themselves. Not about weight.
All right.
Okay.
So it's what is the program about? Like, what do we explain to us what we're trying to do for him?
Okay, it's the way I work with clients, it's a 3-month program because nothing works in 30 days. I always make people commit to me for 3 months. And I mean, aside from the health stuff, I think clients, it's like paying for gym memberships, most people go. So it's working with someone where you're going to hold yourself accountable. So the way we set it up is that I meet with a client, I hear about their health concerns. I have a lot of females. Actually, Chic is my first male client, which is exciting.
yeah.
A lot of them are more everyone always wants to lose weight, but I try to incentivize that it's just about how you feel inside. But if you're eating like shit inside, then you're going to feel like shit on the outside. So more like in tune, like understanding your body and more mindful and conscious of what you're putting inside your body. Then obviously, naturally, he's just going to get healthier. But it's because I live in LA also, so I'm here on the West Coast. It's 2 in-person Zoom appointments. He did it already, which is step 1, a questionnaire of his health.
And it wasn't that easy.
I want a copy
It was
of
a
that.
lot more in depth than I thought it was going to be.
So I look at his health, his family's health, genetics, because your health is genetics and environmental and kind of what's going on with your life at the moment. Stress is a big factor. And then you answer over 300 questions, which helps.
He answered 300 questions.
Christ.
Yeah.
That's right, B. I'm in.
That's an athletic feat for you to begin with. Right
He
there.
hasn't used his brain that much in years.
Yeah. You
I
already
told
have
you,
on the
man, I'm
right
all in.
path.
Yeah. So I gave him a glimpse of it of his chart because it kind of spits out a chart of what's not working inside properly and high priority stuff that we need to focus on. But I still I have to do my part now and do more research. So that's the basis of it. I can usually see some mineral deficiencies or vitamin deficiencies in clients. I don't meal prep for people. I just kind of tell them how to eat healthy, and at the end of the day, it's eating natural foods from Mother Nature. It's,
Yeah.
I don't believe keto. I don't believe in intermittent fasting, all that kind of paleo stuff. Because for example, myself, I'm allergic to apple. I have intolerance to apples, lettuce, and dairy. I would have never, I was very in tune with like myself and inflammation and going to the bathroom right away. Some people think those are healthy things, just not for me. So it's like understanding inflammation, trying to, you know, work at one thing at a time. It's going to take progress. And yeah, that's kind of the package, the gist of it.
That's great.
So
Yeah.
how
And that was
Yes.
what was most appealing, is that there's no like set diet plan and the not weighing. It's just really about trying to eat healthy and be healthy, and then like the rest will hopefully fall into place. So that's really what attracted me to,
Yeah,
like,
I see
mean,
that kind of way would attract you, because the way you explain that is like, it's about thinking I'll do it. Because a lot of times, Chick, you're a guy that's like, I think I'm going to start eating healthier. But you don't do it.
But no, I'm telling you,
You got to
I
do it.
explained to her, my problem is I need to open up to how I eat. So like I explained to her that I eat like crap. I'm not healthy.
What's a
really.
meal? What is a life in the day of Chick? How do you eat during a day?
I'm telling you, you know me, man. I drink a lot of soda.
A lot of sugar, yeah.
I'm all about carbs, bread. Like I'm a big sandwich guy, like nachos. Like there's nothing healthy about my intake. I'll have vegetables, but it's not like, you know, it's with like, you know, something else that's not.
After 3 months, you know, guys lose weight like that, he's going to look awesome. People are going to be like, what's the magic trick? And it's just,
Oh,
don't.
man.
That's right. I'm here to prove everybody wrong.
You're gonna get
That's right.
a lot of business if you get him in shape.
Well, that's what I told her too. I said, if you could actually get through to me, because I'm stubborn and everybody, you know, just from on the show and how I usually go about things, if I could actually do this, you know, it's going to look very good for you.
It's emotional. And I'll get into later how I got into this and I changed careers because I was in advertising for 12 years. I Vox with my clients. I don't know if you guys know what Vox is.
Yeah, that's
Talkie. You can like just
Yep.
like almost like having like an Excel again.
Oh.
So yeah, I have my clients just like log in their food at the end of the day instead of logging in the computer because that's tedious. But I also really make them tell me like how are they feeling? Are they bloated? Like I hope, Chick, you don't have to, but I'm going to ask you to ask me like what your bowel movements were like, you know, like.
yeah. There was a ton of questions about my bowel movements. I was like, wow, I got to pay more attention.
Yeah.
You gotta
How
do
are
it.
your
bowel movements are a
Like,
lot. A lot, and it's messy.
Yeah, exactly.
I plead
Katina,
the
was there
fifth.
anything that stuck out to you when you saw his the way he eats, his history, or anything that you were like, oh,
Feel free to say whatever you want.
yeah, you
I'm
can
an open
be
book
honest
on.
on behalf of him.
No, it's not anything like it's the American standard diet, you know, like it's, I think, very common. So it wasn't like shocking. Comparing Chick's chart compared to like one of my cousins who eats super healthy, like it doesn't matter, you know, like some people can eat really healthy and have other things that aren't working right. Like I think if he follows through and like gets in tune and like starts like, you know, does what, you know, hopefully works for him. Because in 3 months, I'm gone. Like my goal is that he can still live this life, and hopefully by feeling better, he will. So yeah, no, nothing. He's just.
You're going to be stuck with me for longer than 3
that's
months.
what I mean, in
Because
3
I
months.
was just going to say,
3
there's
months,
no
her
way
goal
I'm
is
gonna
to
be ready to
disappear
go
from your
on my
life.
own. You're going to be my nutritionist for life. That was the worst mistake you made, though. is
Yeah, in
accepting
3
me.
months he will have eaten like 2 salads.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually like salads. The problem is I eat Caesar salad. Like my choices of even healthy things are not good.
We're so lucky right now with all the healthy. Like I remember when I got into health in Long Island in like high school, like there was one Trader Joe's on the island that I would drive to. Like I would drive there. Like nobody knew about Trader Joe's. Nobody drank apple cider vinegar then. Nobody used coconut oil. Like I was doing all these things that were like so taboo. And now you get all these like really healthy options that you won't even realize that you're changing, you know, the way you're eating.
Right.
And I think the other really important part is that a lot of people emotionally eat or stress eat and they don't realize it. So I ask my clients to kind of like either before they do it or while they're doing it, or kind of like get an understanding of why they're eating that way. So, and the walkie-talkie is great because it's the Vox app because you're not calling someone up to vent, so you don't feel like insecure or like uncomfortable. It's kind of like you're just venting to yourself in a sense, or like journaling. I fucking hate journaling. So
Yeah. So
I
people.
think oh, I'm sorry. Go, Big.
Go ahead, Chick.
No, you got it.
So the Vox app, people, the clients just sort of talk into it. It's like a Nextel, like.
It's an app. It's just an app, and then like you just download it, and then you just press a button and you just talk into it, or you can text into it. But it's also
so like records your voice.
Yeah, and then I could either hear like right now or later on. I think what for me why I like using it is because like I won't get notifications because I don't want to get bombarded by clients like calling me and texting me like all day long. I can wait till the end of the day.
Oh my God, yeah.
I see Chris smile because he's probably like, Chick's gonna be like, what do I eat for lunch?
So I ate a bacon, egg, and cheese, and every 2 hours he's gonna be on that Vox just screaming in your pocket.
She's gonna have like when she gets home from 8 to 9 is just gonna be like Chick's Vox, like, oh my God, I don't know what to eat. I'm panicking.
An hour of like they came out with Sunkissed Light. Do you think that's good?
Yeah.
I get a lot of, do you think this is okay? Is that okay? Like it's, people are learning. It's funny because I've been so into health for so long. It's kind of was like my poison, which turned into like, I guess my potion, whatever you want to call it. But like I know so much about health stuff that I didn't realize that a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
You know?
I was gonna say, like, is it crazy how clueless majority of us are? Because I mean, I know I am when it comes to this. Like some of the questions, I'm like, I don't even know how to answer this. I don't know what this
What was
is.
one question that really got you that you couldn't figure out?
There was one about dental fillings, and I'm like, wait, I have a cavity. I don't know if this is what they are. Like there was certain things like that. I was like, I don't really even know what this is.
No, your gut health is one of the most important things now is like, you know, making sure you have a healthy gut because a lot of the disease begins there, but also your mouth. So a lot of the fillings for you guys, if you guys have like the fillings and cavities, a lot of bacteria gets stuck in there and it becomes overgrowth. And there's like a lot of research that's been shown that like women with breast cancer, like usually they have like the fillings in on that side or a certain, because it's
Interesting.
your blood. So you're going to get bacteria and then it's going to be an infection and that's going to go to your bloodstream and then it's going to kind of like leak into other places. So
Wow.
have healthy teeth. So yeah,
So much things start with your teeth. Yeah, that's one of the things I hear a lot now. Like a lot has to do with your teeth.
Yeah. And
There's also a lot of like feelings about how you eat. And I'm like, you don't really think about how something you eat makes you feel. So like that, I'm going to really have to come into tune with that.
Well, what I'm learning too is that a lot of people don't realize that they've been feeling shitty for so long that they don't even know what it's like to feel like really good. You know, like I remember I would always be like, after I would eat lunch, be like my stomach hurt and just became like so automatic and I would just always say it all the time. And I thought it was normal, which it just wasn't.
It's like second nature then at that point.
Yeah, I always feel tired after I eat too, and I feel like that's not a good sign.
Tired, bloating, no, there's a lot of things. Yeah.
B, I'm telling you, after I do this, you guys are both. Chris is a relatively healthy guy, but B, I think could definitely utilize this as well.
Yeah, I could. I listen. I've let myself go in the past couple of years, so maybe I'll jump on board. I have to see what Chick does. If it works for Chick, I mean, it will work for anything.
I mean, it'd be a million after that.
And then it's
Can I
sold.
ask you guys a question? I want to get into like your whole history of how you got into this. But how did you and Chick start talking? Like, how did this relationship start?
I slid exactly.
What was it?
So all right, I slid into Katina's DMs.
Oh, he always. All right.
I've listened. We were friends in high school, and we've been following each other on Instagram. I'm not even sure if it's Facebook, but definitely Instagram. And she always put up her pictures and like her hiking and doing all this stuff. And like, I followed her on there. Then when she started posting these videos about like this health stuff and talking about some of her issues, I felt, what?
The health stuff finally piqued your interest.
Well, but I respect anybody who's willing to get on video and do things. And I knew she was just starting. And we did the podcast. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go. I even told her, I was like, I wasn't going to do it. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it. So I slid in there and it was just more of a, hey, how you doing? And glad that you're throwing yourself out there. And it naturally kind of progressed from there.
Social media sucks. But I mean, it's also great at the same time. It's like what you make of it and just telling your story and being vulnerable and sharing their struggles, and I did it. And then I think it was one of my first video about it. And then Chick was like, "That's awesome," and I was just like, "Oh, this is so scary," you know.
Well, because I told her, I was like, listen, I throw myself on this and I say a lot of stuff about my life. So anybody I see who does that, I think it's not easy. And I have a respect and appreciation for it. So I felt like I should reach out. Plus, I haven't seen her in God knows when. Right. So, I mean, there was other personal reasons. And, yeah, I'm glad I did.
Okay, good. And Katina, when you got that message from Chick, were you like, who is this guy again? Or did you know who he was? Like, what was your angle with this?
That was the thing. I'm like, uh-oh. Whenever you slide in a DM, you never know what the other girl, the woman, or whoever's going to, like, look
on
at
him sliding into your DM.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid to slide into anything.
No, I was best friends with Maddie in high school. We lived around each other, so he was best friends with Chick. And then, I mean, after high school, I went to Hofstra and then kind of left and didn't talk to anyone from Long Island, basically.
I was going to say, after high school, you were gone because I don't remember seeing you afterwards.
No, I didn't.
Move right out to LA?
No, I moved to LA 6 years ago. So I just moved to the city. Like I went to Hofstra and then got a job in the city and then I was all over. And then, 6 years ago, I came out here.
Nice.
Yep. And now I'm here. Now she's trying to make me healthy.
Yeah. How fast?
Or help me get healthy. Right? Is that, it's not, you know what I mean? Let's see if I can put in the work.
Yeah, like.
It's on you, I think, right?
That's what it is on me.
Exactly. I can tell him what to do. I can like lay it all out there, but he's the one in the end who has to do it.
Where's your confidence?
I think
you have confidence
like the food
in it?
logs.
Good?
I mean, nobody else does apparently.
Wait, what'd you say? I didn't even hear that, B.
I asked Katina how her confidence level was with you. If she thinks you're gonna.
Oh yeah. Well, this is the beautiful thing about kind of reconnecting with someone who doesn't see some of the bad, like didn't witness firsthand some of the bad decisions I've made.
Someone who
so
doesn't
she has more faith in me.
Yeah.
What?
I said someone who doesn't listen to the show every week.
Yeah. Listen, in this show, I'm usually here to vent and make myself, not that I make myself out to be worse than I am, but I don't really present myself in a very positive light on here.
No, you don't, but that's fine. You
It's funny.
It is.
Who you are.
Yeah. And I think I'm in a good place now. So I've been saying that for a while now. So I think now is as good a time for me to whip myself in shape as any. So I think timing is everything. She started doing that. It was just, normally I wouldn't have the balls or honestly to slide in someone's DMs like that because I don't know how they're going to view it or think of it. Right. And now I'm glad I did.
Well, you were moved. And Katina, I have to say, like, Chick has mentioned you in like the last couple of weeks, and his mood has changed. There's something I don't know what you're saying to him. I don't know what you're motivating him with, but he seems like he's ready to go grab life by the balls. You know?
I feel like I'm ready too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but you got him motivated.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
So
start.
Yeah, she's like, I don't even know how to respond to that.
Yeah, I know.
But so let's. I was gonna say, let's stay away from me and let's get into how your story a little more.
Yeah. How did this all start for you?
My story isn't that unique, but it's, I guess, just being open about it. So I was in advertising for 12 years, and I guess, I'm like, I've never really shared about this like to strangers before. I was in advertising for 12 years and I was working at a talent agency, the last gig. And I have been battling an eating disorder for 17 years. And last year, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, I got super depressed, which I didn't know that I was depressed. I was just isolating myself. And my eating disorder was at its ultimate high. Again, at that point, I didn't even really think I had one. Even though I knew when I hit 30, I knew I had to keep myself accountable. And I told my cousin who I live with, but like, I never really did anything about it. I just knew like it had to stop.
Did you know it was an issue in the beginning?
No, I guess we can start from the beginning.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to shoot all over.
I mean, it's like part of your story. Like once you figure it out, you kind of like go back and understand when it started and like how like,
okay.
Yeah. Get the perspective on it.
Yeah. So it got really bad at the talent agency. I wasn't eating and I would consider myself a bulimic and a restrictor, or I was one because I've been abstinent now for a year and a half. And restrictions is you just don't eat enough. So, which I think a lot of females just don't eat enough, and they think they should. They should probably.
And bulimic is what exactly? That's.
So it's like throwing up.
Okay. All right.
I mean, there's a lot. No, that's a great question. There's a lot more than you would even probably know.
Yeah.
We're all very interested in that. I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, I don't know much about that stuff.
Yeah, I think for me, well, the whole point of let me backtrack and then I'll get into why I'm passionate and trying to be so vocal about it, because I think a lot of people have some sort of disordered eating, and nobody really talks about it like they do with like AA or like alcoholics and like drug addicts, because it's the same disease in a sense, but just food or not food. So it got really bad at the talent agency, where intermittent fasting, and this is one thing, led to just not eating for a week straight, and I would isolate myself and not see friends. I wouldn't go out to eat, and then I would purge on the weekends, and my hormones went like crazy, and I thought I was going like premenopausal, and I was like super depressed. I didn't know what was going on. I went to the doctor, and he was just like, "You're just stressed. You're just stressed. You're just stressed." What got me actually to, and I don't even know if I told you, Chic, started dating someone who was in NA, which is Narcotics Anonymous. And he was talking about his story right away. And like, I was like, oh, he's not the first person in my life who has some kind of either alcohol issue or drug issue. Let me go to Al-Anon for friends and family. Like it just was accidental how I kind of got better. I mean, I probably would have anyways. We went to Al-Anon meeting, spoke to a woman after, and she says, a lot of us are in OA. And I was just like, what's OA? And she's like, Overeaters Anonymous. A lot of people with dysfunctional families growing up, tend to develop eating disorders. And I was like, I think I should go. So I went there. And I was hysterical crying. Like I couldn't even say my name. They make you say your name. I couldn't even verbally say my name because I was so ashamed that I let this go on for so long. But it was to the point where I was so scared that I didn't know a life without it, because at this point I was doing it half of my life. As a coping mechanism. Because I had a lot of childhood trauma, and I'll get into that. And I also just didn't know, like, if I couldn't stop on my own, like, how is this gonna like kind of help me? So yeah, I mean, it's been a year and a half and I haven't done it since. And not the issue with OA, because I think it's great. It's a support group and it's there for you, but they don't address the nutritional part. And I was still kind of like, why should I eat? Like, and what?
They ask you more about what's going on and not really why it happened, so to speak, I guess.
Well, they do talk about why, and you go through, it's the same program as like AA and NA. You go through the steps, you have a sponsor, stuff like that. But I mean, I would see in the rooms is what they call it. It's like, just eat that cookie or eat that piece of cake. And I'm like, but that's really not going to make you feel good, because it's actually not good for you.
It's just so there's a different disorder.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends on you and your program in a programs, because there's people who overeat or stress eat or who are addicted to sugar and flour, or people who purge or bulimic or anorexic or chewing and spitting. Like there's a lot. So you'd cater your own program in like the rooms, but at the same time, like I was just at a loss. So while at the talent agency, I enrolled in school just to help myself. Because I'm like, I need to know why the food is good for me and what food is good for me and why it's good for me. It's like, it's so basic, but at the same time, like we don't really are taught that in school, or we don't really learn that much of it. So yeah, I enrolled in school, and then I decided to help others because it just changed my life.
So is that your main reason for enrolling in school, was more to self-help yourself, like for yourself, like knowledge, than to actually get into it as a career?
Yeah, I was terrified. I mean, so the whole coping mechanism part, now I guess I'll get into the history of it and when it started. I had a lot of childhood trauma. Like my dad was abusive towards my mother, verbally abusive to us kids. And at a young age, I just didn't know how to express how I felt about any emotion. My younger sister will say I'm cold-hearted, or I don't get angry or sad. Like I was just I was raised like an older boy, like, because I was the oldest, and I played soccer with my dad, and it was just like straight A's in school. Don't get upset, don't get mad. But then at the I'd also see him like beating my mom and going to the hospital and cops and all this shit happening. So I couldn't even express it if I wanted to because I thought maybe that would happen to me. And then senior year of high school, my mom decided to divorce my dad and asked me to help. So I went to the lawyers with her because my parents are immigrants. My dad's Greek, my mom's El Salvadorian. And my mom had to tell me that my dad was accused of being a child molester when we were younger, and I fully believe it. The people just never showed up to go to trial. And it was that moment in my life where I was just like, you know, in high school, senior year, like you think you're old and like you think, you know,
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck, I was not ready for that. Like, I am too young to know this about like my dad. Like, and I started going to the gym. I went to Synergy, I think on Conklin. I don't know if it's still there.
It's still there.
No, it actually just closed like a couple months ago.
Did it really?
Yeah, they finally closed. My mom used to go there, so she
COVID.
gave me an earful about it. That's the only reason why I know.
I just think it's crazy because I knew you in high school. And like you said, we weren't really close in high school. But, I mean, not that people wear this stuff on their sleeve, like, but you were so even-keeled, I say. Like, there wasn't really drama surrounding you in high school. Like, I would have never guessed any of this.
I've had some people, like, yelled at me about their boyfriends at one point. Like, I was never one to yell or get loud. I'm just like, I had too much of my life going on. Like, I had to help my mom divorce my dad, who is an abusive child molester, and I have a younger brother and sister who I have to help raise now, which I had to for the past couple years. Like after that, and still get straight A's and then try to go to college. You know, it was
You didn't
just
have time for like school drama.
No,
Yeah, you had enough shit going on.
Yeah.
Really strict. Like I was never my whole life allowed to sleep over people's houses. Like, so I never stayed out late. I had a curfew. Like I went to those like wood parties for like maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've seen you around. I just, it was just like, there's never any drama or like bullshit going on. It was, you saw you as hello and kept it, like you were sweet, and that was it.
You just never know what people are going through.
You don't.
Yeah, man.
And that's why high school is such a bad place for certain people, because kids, generally speaking, are ruthless. And nobody knows what someone's going through at home. And that's something, unfortunately, you don't realize this until you get older, how you may have treated somebody. Like, it's something that comes with maturity, and in high school, that's not there.
And you're also not fully developed in high school. Like Katina, like you were saying, like you were dealing with stuff on another level that people weren't around you. Most people weren't dealing with. But it's like you're in high school. You're still a child. It's just your emotions aren't even like your brain isn't fully cooked, right?
No, you're right.
It's insane. But you also think that you're older, and because I remember being a senior, I thought I knew it all. But you know nothing.
I thought I knew it all, but at the same time, I was put into a position where I felt like, and I had to do it. So I had to step up to the plate, right? I had to help my mom go to the lawyer.
Yeah.
My brother, sister, like it was so toxic because we lived with my dad. So it was a hot mess. And I discovered the gym. So this is like how this is when the eating disorder happened. Chick, I don't know if you remember, but in 11th grade, I was chubbier than I normally ever was. Like I was, I'm also Greek and El Salvadorian, so I'm just never going to be a slender, thin, straight. Like I had curves at the age of like 10.
Well, no, I didn't. We could agree to disagree on that. I've told you my feelings about these things, but
Oh, what's your feeling?
No, I'm just saying, like no, I'm just saying though, like she always looked good in high school. I would have never known that she had any issues or anything. Or like I wouldn't remember, in 11th grade, Katina was thicker than in 12th grade. Like that thought would have never crossed my mind.
I dropped about so I started going to the gym and I started counting calories for the first time because I never went to the gym and I'd be running. And I was like, what is this calories? Oh, that's what you start eating, it's what you eat. So I just would have a large 7-Eleven cup of coffee and then just like a can of corn like every day for the next year.
Can of corn?
Yeah, I would eat less than 500 calories. So like initially it's crazy. The first year I was pretty much anorexic. So I'm like, let me run and then eat less than what I'm running. And I kid you not, I remember the day I was driving like in my Ford Stanza, like on 109. And it was like a drug. I felt so high. I felt so good about myself. And I'm like, I can do this and nobody else can. Like, but now looking back, whole life was fucking crazy. That's the only thing I can control. So I finally felt powerful in what I
Yeah.
can control. That was it, and it was not me. And it was something nobody else could do, you know. And I did it for a fucking year. It was wild.
This is crazy to me. So you ate corn and ran off more than you ate of the corn, and you felt good?
Yeah.
That's
Do
crazy.
you think that's like your brain
Oh,
just working in crazy ways?
Pardon?
Would you think that's like your brain working in crazy ways, telling yourself that you feel good when you don't really feel good?
I guess it's like alcoholics and I guess like drug addicts. It's just it isn't.
Yeah.
Like it was like for me it was just so much distress and I didn't know it was like it's the only thing I control. Like all I know is that it felt euphoric. With the bulimia, there is studies that show. So then when I went to college, my college girlfriends were just like, "You're anorexic," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." You know, like I was still so kind of not aware of it. And then I just saw girls puking when they'd get drunk. So I was like, "Oh," and I don't do that. I don't know. I just am not a puker, like, and I don't black out. And I was like, I think I could just now drink and then throw it up, and then that just became that cycle that lasted all these years.
So is that how it goes? It goes from like one thing to another, just like as you evolve, the disorder evolves?
It could if you don't get help, right? Like
Yeah.
now I'm very aware of it, you know, like because then and for me as the years went on, it was just more of a tentpole event. Like when I was sad, when something was going on in my life, it was like my best friend, my like it's what I like resorted to that made me feel good. But they do say bulimia is the hardest one to kick because it does release serotonin after you like binge and then you purge. And then, yeah, until it really did. And I was like, I can't live like this anymore. And I just felt so lost and in a dark place.
Well, you were actually very lucky to hit that point where you realized you wanted help or you needed help. No? Do you not see it that way? Like, I feel like some people go down these and they never hit that. I don't want to say rock bottom. They just don't ever get to that point where they want to fix it.
I mean, I would call myself like a coping, like it was a coping, like functioning, like addict, like, you know, like I didn't do it all the time. Like I was like, my teeth aren't going to fall out, but through nutrition and like the program that I started doing, like I had, my insides my gut was fucked up, like holes in my gut, like leaky gut, all this stuff. So like at that point a year ago, I wasn't eating and I was gaining all this weight and I was like on the verge of being premenopausal because my hormones were all over the place from not eating enough.
Yeah.
Katina, do you remember the first time you threw up? Like, was that just like, I feel like that would be a big moment.
No, but you know what? I don't. I remember moments of doing it.
So it sort of happened. Like, I feel like, you know, I don't know how this all works, so forgive me. But like, I feel like if the first time I made myself throw up, I just feel like that would be something.
Do you remember the first time you like smoked weed or drank?
I was just gonna say that.
I do, but yeah, maybe I'm the wrong.
You can't say that all the first time you had a drink. I feel like with any addict in that sense, when that's hard to view. It's hard to pick when it happened.
That seems like such a big thing. Also, I don't like to throw up. So you don't remember like early on when you decided to do it?
No, I just remember it was in college. I blacked out a lot of my youth because of everything, but like, remember college, I do remember there were moments where I would find like group, like the anorexic and like bulimic groups to see how I could do it better or easier. So like I would like go on the web and.
Wow. You were looking for tips?
Wow, there are like groups for that?
Yeah. Like
there's something for everybody out there. It really is.
That's crazy.
I didn't engage with it, but I was just like, how could, like, you know, I don't know.
But you were interested enough to look at.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I mean, go ahead.
No, go.
I'm like, because you convince yourself that you don't have a problem because you're not like those people that they showed you in health class and like who are hiding shit underneath their bed, you know?
Yeah,
like,
and in the closet. I remember that health video.
That's the video I think of every time.
Up in the closet.
Yeah.
I always thought that was awkward. And then they had the Ben Affleck one about the steroids.
And then he brings a kitten to his girlfriend. He's like, "Oh, I love you," and he brings a kitten and then gives her a black eye. Just, oh my God, this isn't the one.
Yeah, those videos weren't the best.
Well, it's like they show you the worst example of everything. So if you have anything less than the worst, you're like, oh, it's not that bad.
Exactly.
No, it's so true though.
Exactly. People get confused by that. Oh man.
I
So-
remember the closet hiding chick.
Yeah, no, but like the eating disorders too. People don't talk about that at all. You don't see commercials about it. You don't see celebrities talking. The only celebrity I remember who had one that was in the open about it was Ally McBeal. I don't know what her real name was, but I just know the show she was on. And that's the only person that I could call.
Ally McBeal, yeah. But she also got so much pressure from like the network, I feel like. Because that show, Ally McBeal, like, it was like that went viral before like Twitter and everything, where like, wow, this Ally McBeal is way too skinnier in season 3 of Ally McBeal. What the hell's that girl's name? We should throw some respect on her name.
I'm gonna look it up.
But I remember that too. That was like
a check, like a fact check person.
yes, yeah.
We do. We need like somebody in the booth or something like that to give it. Yeah, tell us if we're right or wrong.
That's what Chris.
But no, it's just something that's never talked about.
What's her name?
Alyssa Flockhart.
Yeah. All right.
But like, she's the only, and you would think that it's probably a lot more common, especially in Hollywood. You would assume. I can't say for sure. And the fact that like you hear about drugs, you hear about all these other issues people have, but you never hear about anything that has to do with how you look because of this shallow society we live in.
Going to AA is cool, you know, like, and when I decided that I wanted to, because like in school, they're like, you should pick your niche. And I was like, this has to be my niche, you know, like to help people like understand their bodies and what works for them. And like, I mean, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a therapist throwing that out there, but like I can like support someone because I understand and I've been there and just give them the tools that helped me. So I was like, I have to just start telling people and be open about it. And at the same time, like I want this stigma to go that it's kind of like gross or it's just another form of.
Well, and you're just starting, but I would imagine you're going to be getting tons of people reaching out to you. Just because I find when people come out and do things, you get a much more positive response than you probably would have imagined. I mean, you probably would have never thought that me, like a male, it would reach out to you just saying, you know, good job on videos, just in general. Like, it's just, I think you'll reach a lot more people.
Never thought you'd be graced by that beautiful direct message. I never thought if I would put myself out there, Tom Chickolo would slide into my DM. Oh, lucky me. Finally, I'm putting myself out there and my prince.
You guys suck. But
no, also being in a talent agency, did that have anything to do with like watching people come through there? Like,
no, I mean I could care less. Those people just sucked, you know. Like I could.
Let's get into your professional change because I actually would like. I think people would. I think it's interesting too to how this because this all happened around the same time, right? Relatively.
Yeah, so I moved out here. So I worked for Discovery for like 7 years, Discovery Channel, like doing account executive for them. So that's what brought me out here. They moved me to the LA office, and then they had mergers. I got laid off. Went to an influencer marketing company. It got acquired by Viacom. Got laid off. Went to a Hispanic startup. They're a startup. They made some layoffs. Got laid off. So I was just like another like form of like kind of chaos in my life, and then. The talent agency, I'm like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is not, it's not fun. I was good at it. I did great. I made a lot of money. Like, I traveled the world in between, but like, it's just soul sucking, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, this is just not for me. So, yeah, I just eventually went to school and I was like, I think I really want to help people. So then I decided to like build my own practice.
Great.
Well,
and you've been doing this for how long now? A year?
A month.
Oh, a month?
Damn, we're starting fresh.
We're starting fresh, man.
We're hitting the pavement.
Us to fucking shoot the stars right now.
Oh, you're on the Adult Babies podcast. Things are about to take off for you. You'll have at least 2 more clients.
Hey, you know what? Every client that we can get her will help. And, you know, I told you. I think my success will help because once they see like, wow, Chick was a fat disaster and now he's actually in shape.
I love how he talks about it. Like he's already
done. Yeah.
Will inspire others.
It's going to be a long 3 months, man. You got to.
If he does it and if he does well, if anyone who knows him then signs up with me, if they're not going to fail, right? can't not.
No, they can't. Yeah.
No?
In
You
3
can't
months,
let me outdo you.
if you fix him in 3 months, I will, whatever it costs, I will pay. Whatever it costs for him to do this, I will pay for his entire thing if you fix him in 3 months.
Look at that.
No, I
Oh,
will. I will lay the money down.
B, this is, I'm going to make sure we hold this episode, and I will hold you
Before
to that.
Before that, I will do it. I will do it because I know you're his coach or whatever. I don't know what you call it. I don't have much faith in him.
Okay.
He's making a bet right now.
Yeah, I'm making.
Can we get
Well,
the
you want to know
Vegas
what's funny?
odds on
And
this?
I'll throw this out there.
I
So,
want you to do well.
three of my three ladies I'm good friends with, who are my friends' wives, I was telling them about our nutritional consult that I had because they didn't like when I originally told them about this. They were like, "No shot that you're gonna do this, whatever." So I went to hit up three of my friends, and one of them is Kathleen. So as I was typing in Kathleen's number, I typed in Katina's number and sent the text. And then I was like, "Oh wow!" I realized I'm a fucking idiot because I was telling them about her, but I really put her in the text.
So you sent a text message to 3 other girls talking about your experience with Katina, but accidentally put Katina in the group text.
Exactly.
This is why he doesn't.
What makes you think he's going to be able to pick the right spinach?
Exactly.
But this, to my point,
When
was
you got that text, Katina, were you like, "What is this?"
No, I thought it was you guys.
Oh,
I didn't know.
originally thought it was you. Yeah.
Oh, right, because the numbers don't.
Yeah, and it was.
Thank God it wasn't. God knows what we would have said to him.
Yeah.
You're
But
lucky
no.
you got the girls.
And my whole point was because I'm trying to prove to them, like, boom, I'm going to do this. So then I had to tell her that. So I'm really out here to prove a lot of people wrong.
Been hearing that for 125 episodes. He's changed himself again.
You know what? This one, I can't say anything else. I'm going to keep my tongue shut and my mouth shut.
He's a horse that can't be broken. You know, this is not an easy client you got.
Have I been difficult so far? Other than I like to chat.
What has it been, 4 days?
Difficult. Well, I've done what she asked me so far. I've been a man of my word.
Did. I mean, I think because to be honest, I think he's going to be an easy client.
Do you?
Really?
Yeah, he already eats so poorly that it's going to be very easy. Like little tweaks here and there, like he's going to see change. You know, once he starts feeling good, it'll be fine.
And then the hope would be once that change comes that you build on that.
So what have you done so far that you've changed, Chick?
I've actually I'm signing up for this and I'm trying to take it serious.
No.
Her questionnaire. I haven't done anything yet. This is day one.
He signs up. He does all the work. He puts the paperwork in.
Drinking a water.
He's
got a water.
I got a water. Starting, bro. Baby steps.
Katina, here's my problem with Chick, and this is why I worry about him, because he loves the idea of something. You know what I mean? He loves I'm all in. I'm all in. But then when push comes to shove, in 32 days, in 42 days, he's just not with it. He cuts out. Like already he hasn't. What'd you eat today?
I had a chicken sandwich. Literally just chicken, Swiss, and bread.
That's all you ate today?
Yeah. I actually haven't eaten. I was gonna eat dinner, and then I got on the show, and I'll probably eat something after.
What are you gonna eat after?
I honestly haven't even thought about it yet. I don't know. Probably nothing healthy tonight. I'm not gonna lie. We're going all in, but it's probably not gonna be today. Listen, in my defense, this is relatively, very new in me, and we just had our conversation of me and her had our consult on Tuesday. I filled out the questionnaire today, which was a lot, and I'm ready to go. I wouldn't be doing all this if I had. I'm not gonna waste her time and mine. It's not. I don't plan on doing that.
I feel like in 3 months, Chick's gonna be cramming for the test. Like he's just gonna be eating a bag of celery the day before.
B, this week I can't do anything. I'm running from Monday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. I would love it. So is there so I do you have a a diet that he has to follow, or like how does it
Do you
work?
listen to anything she says?
No.
No, it's not a diet. I mean, we go over his symptoms that, pardon? It just happens. No, I do have like an approved, like I'll figure out what works for him and what doesn't, an approved list of like what he should eat and probably stay away from. And I like send it to my clients of brands that like I prefer when he's making the choices to make it a little easier. It's just, honestly, it's just really simple. It's just don't eat processed food or sugar or soda. It's just eating, especially with someone like Chic, where it's just like, it's just baby steps. I'm not going to give him a diet and he's going to feel overwhelmed, because I think that's the problem. Like, people are always like, let me do this 30-day challenge and I'm going to like just like eat nothing, and then like you crash and burn at the end. Like, that's not what we're trying to do. It's okay, like one thing at a time. So like, let's maybe eliminate this, or let's just try to eat this. And I do request like 3 meals a day and like one snack. Like, that's it. Just kind of get on a schedule.
So
Yeah.
he's clearly not
And
on the schedule yet.
No, I'm not on it yet. But
What?
I think her methodology behind all of this, personally, I do think is up my alley and what I need to do.
Why is
I
that?
think the 3-month thing is great too.
Yes, it's not 1 month.
Yeah.
It's not like here's 20 things that you have to eat. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to be cut out this, cut out that. And
Yeah,
by
3
eating,
months really gives you enough time to change your diet, but in a slow enough way that you almost don't notice it.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to shock my system. Like, all right, Monday I'm starting keto, and now,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I just, for me, I think it's just a good process for me, at least.
It sounds good. It sounds great. What's the first move though? Like, what's like the first change?
Well, usually it is changing diet. Like at the end of the day, I want clients to just learn how to eat better, but there usually is supplementations that I'll request. I think a lot of us do need supplements. Like, the biggest issues that our not our souls, their soil is lacking a lot of nutrients because of like corporate and commercial farming. So a lot of the food that we're eating is lacking a lot of the vitamins and minerals. That means your insides aren't working right. As adults, because you've been eating processed food and soda and, drugs and alcohol and all this stuff, you lack acid in your stomach. So I usually tell clients to get some digestive enzymes to start breaking it down, or pancreatic enzymes, a good probiotic. So things to just like kind of heal the gut. Usually, number one, I'm always trying to heal the gut, like with all clients, because as soon as you heal the gut, every other symptom kind of like goes away, like subsides. Like I have to go through all his medical history. I have to see, because I have to like look out for clues and play detective. And I already like did a glance at it before today, and I sent it to him. And it's like, yeah, we're gonna have to work on his like digestion, which isn't really working right, but also his blood sugar imbalance. So we're gonna work on that, and that's with the 3 meals a day, with eating properly, less processed food, less carbs, like taking a lot of the glucose out of his blood. And with that, he's just gonna some tweaks of like eating and probably supplementation, he'll just slowly start, losing weight and feeling better. No headaches, no bloating, better bowel movements, stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is all about just feeling better and changing like a shitty lifestyle that I've grown accustomed to. I mean, it's not like I said, I'm not going to be shocking the system in 1 week.
So it's called Standard American Diet, SAD, because it's pretty sad.
What is it called?
Like how Chic eats is called the Standard American Diet.
Standard American Diet.
Yeah, SAD. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing. The whole the country as itself is just unhealthy. So when you're not like health savvy or health conscious, it's easy to fall into these bad habits and just it is what it is.
It's all marketing, right? Like the whole no diet was one researcher who wanted to prove his theory, and the American Heart Association took off, and fat is good for you. Animal meat's good for you. Healthy fats are good for you. Vegetable oils, not so much. That's what's causing, the heart attacks and like cancer and stuff. But
is that really that does a lot, the vegetable oil?
Yeah, I'm gonna
horrible.
That out. No vegetable oil.
What's vegetable oil used in?
Everything.
It's like it's a cooking thing, yeah.
Oh no.
Well, this is what I wanted to. This is why I was happy to bring her on. We're not a show that usually attacks health too much, so I think it's a nice little change up too. We can give people some health tips, and definitely reach out to Katina. We'll give you all her information before we sign off. But I think I'm not done. I wasn't, and I was saying, like, I just think lack of knowledge is the biggest issues that people have. At least for me, I could say I don't know a fucking thing about healthy living.
I think that's wild. Because I've been my disease.
I know a little, but I don't really do it.
Yeah, like I've been so obsessed with like I tried to be a vegan like back in the day. That was terrible, but like I've been a pescatarian for like 15 years because of all the, steroids and how they treated animals and stuff like that. And I was like, it's just not like red meat. And then now I found brands and like companies that, have them eat grass and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that's what I was for. Like my obsession with like being like with my eating disorder kind of now is turning into my career, my passion to help others. So I've been like in the health stuff for so long.
It's almost like
Does it shock you how clueless we all are?
What?
Yeah, I can't believe soda. Who still drinks soda? Like
soda.
Can I tell you that's going to be the first thing I cut out? I need to find
one of the few people that still drink soda. Like I feel like that's like something that just.
It's like diabetes in a can.
Yeah, it is.
I know, Chris, you don't drink soda.
What's up?
You don't drink soda.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the last time I had a soda.
Listen, at least I'm trying to get help.
I have a question about this gut health. I keep hearing about gut health. What's that about?
They say
Tell me about my guts.
Sure. Your gut is like your second brain. It has like 100 million bacteria, living organisms in there. And unfortunately, with the way we've been eating, like our whole lives, and it just hasn't been the way our ancestors have been eating, we're destroying the healthy gut flora and also the walls in it. But when you destroy that, so when you start digesting the food, you're not properly digesting the food and you're not absorbing the nutrients right. So your digestion, which is the first thing that's not working right, because besides your stomach, your liver and your pancreas and your gallbladder are all also working and secreting enzymes. Like there's so many organs working at the same time. But then when your digestion doesn't work, then your pancreas overworks or like your liver like starts overworking. So then they become like super fatigued. Now that food that you're never supposed to be eating before and it's super processed goes into your small intestine, rips apart the lining of your small intestine. What?
They're like, what is this food coming into me?
Well, yeah, and then it leaks into your bloodstream, and that's what causes bloating, inflammation, other chronic diseases, diabetes, and stuff like that. So
I just feel like bad eating is the root cause of like 90% of your health issues.
99.9.
Yes.
All right, even more. Yeah. The rest is what, genetics?
You know what? I mean, it's. Yeah. Okay. Like if you have an autoimmune disease, it is genetic gene, but it's an environmental thing. And it's also like something that happens in your life. So by eating bad and then maybe having a trauma in your life, then that autoimmune disease would kind of like wake up from slumber in a sense. And that's why people later on get lupus or Hashimoto, stuff like that. So it's in a sense genetic, but you need to also eat the processed stuff for things to happen.
Yeah.
It's like activated by the bad diet.
But also because I'm Greek and El Salvadorian, when I started doing my tests and stuff, like my body adapts better to a Mediterranean diet because of my genes. So like
the Mediterranean diet is like it's top notch, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
bulletproof.
It's a lot of like healthy oils, greens, beans and lentils. I could do goat cheese and feta cheese, but I can't do cow's milk, and it's all like, genetic.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of goat cheese and feta cheese. We're going to have to figure out some things.
Maybe you can do dairy. It all depends. Like I said,
okay. Right.
Oh, yeah.
How your body is. Like,
sure you can do dairy.
But is it like safe to say that like big bone families, is that not a thing though? Is there not like any, no, but I'm trying like
families?
No, but I'm saying like, are people overweight? Like, is none of that is genetics though? I'm saying like when you see a whole family that's big, is it just, wow, they eat unhealthy as a family? Or is it like,
yes. There's a such thing as like big boned, like there's 3 different bone structures. I don't know the exact term. Like that's more on like the more sports and nutrition kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I fall in kind of more of the that medium-sized bone structure too. It's just like
Yeah.
earlier, like I'm not a tall, skinny blonde from Sweden. Like they're long and lanky, you know, like so they're genetics like that. But the overweight obese American, like no, that's drinking soda and eating candy and sugar, and like sugar is more addicting than cocaine, you know, like it's
Oh
just,
yeah, it is. I agree with that.
I feel like it's one of those things too, where like if you're growing up in an obese family, they're giving you soda at age 2 also, which is not, you know, you're then growing to be that.
I was a family that had a lamb roasting in the backyard, and my neighbors would be like, "What is wrong with you?" Like my family, in our house, they did not have cookies. Like they were just still like very Greek or El Salvadorian, like food, like every day. So I grew up very fortunate that I was eating real food every day. We never had fast food, but yeah. So
I mean, I do eat, well, with COVID coming up, I haven't really eaten fast food. So like because of just the recent state of the country, it's been easier to eat less shit, I should say. You know, I've been more home cooked meals and things like that.
The thing is like you'd think like people are more sick in the U.S. because we are the fattest country, right? So our COVID being so sick, it's because like diabetes is like through the roof over here, and not in like France and Italy and stuff. Like yeah, they had a lot more like they had COVID symptoms, but like they're still eating natural stuff from like their surroundings. You know, they're not eating this corporate processed food. So
yeah, we're unhealthy as a country.
Yeah, to really like get yourself healthy, because if you
Well, that's the other thing. There's a major need for nutritionists and stuff like that now because of how fat we are.
honestly, I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast, and he had somebody on, and they were talking about just like technology and how it's going to get rid of so many jobs. And the one thing he said, he's like, you know, the health field is never going to go away. And I was like, should probably change professions right now. Like, we're not going to need salespeople anymore. So
I'm telling you, the health field is where you're always going to need to try. I mean, people are always going to need to be healthy, one way or another. Like it's not a field that's going to go. It's like, honestly, it's like the funeral business. It's always going to
make a commitment, right? Like or because I think it's too expensive. I think I just did a post about that because, you know, the investment of, I'm like, it's an investment of 3 months of learning how to be healthier for you for the rest of your life, you know, and you're spending more than $1,000 on an iPhone, and you're going to get a new one next year.
Well, yeah, that's why the money didn't really even because I spend my money on dumb shit. So to justify spending it on my health is easy.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm affordable now because I'm still new, but.
How much is it?
Are we allowed?
Yeah. So I do the 3-month program. Like you have to sign obviously like a disclaimer and stuff that you're 3 months, and it's $200 a month. So it's $600. Okay. So it's not bad, especially because you have 2 appointments with me, and then you have access to me every day, as opposed to going to a doctor. Yeah. Or if you don't have insurance, it could be $200, and that's a one-time shot, and you never hear from them again. But yeah, so that's.
Plus, you get like a little fan in your court.
You?
No, but I'm saying when you get like the nutritional coach, you have like somebody who's actually like positive behind you. Instead, I got everybody like B telling me I'm not going to be able to do it. So you get like,
don't say that to me.
It's like you get somebody who is helping you and is going to like cheer you and be positive in the same.
Leader, yeah. And I try, like I think it's overwhelming. Like people like start off with me and they're just like, well, can I have this? Can I have that? Like I'm getting messages like, what about power? I'm like, look, day one, like, or like, how much salt can I have? I was like, that is not the point, you know, like, do not overwhelm yourself. Just all I want to hear is that you're eating 3 meals a day, and it's, you know, meats and potatoes, or, you know, it's just not processed shit. Like, let's just start there, because it's the first 2 weeks are the hardest, I think. You know,
well, that's like, I feel like the first one, when you're ever trying to change something, stopping yourself from doing things that you're accustomed to doing is probably the hardest. And then once you get accustomed to a new way of doing things, hopefully it becomes easier.
And I don't sit here and tell people not to drink or eat chocolate. Like I still do that. You know, it's just
you haven't told me not to really do anything except the soda and like the smoking, but they're like obvious things.
We haven't had our first real meeting yet.
Yeah, exactly.
When is the first?
It's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
Set it up, maybe next week.
All right. Yeah. So when do you officially start this?
What do you mean? Like
when are you gonna start? You know.
I'm gonna try and start making better decisions while I'm eating, starting like tomorrow. I mean, you know, like I just had a chicken sandwich today. I got the water now. I mean, I'm trying. It's not gonna be easy, and like overnight, like today, tomorrow, I'm gonna eat 3, you know, fantastically healthy meals. But I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna start.
If you want to have your binge weekend, go for it. We didn't have our first like one-on-one that you paid for. Like that first meeting was a consultation. It's free. So like.
Yeah.
Meeting, like we'll talk about it, so enjoy yourself this weekend.
See, there you go. Maybe be my
Drink
last
all
hurrah.
the
But even
sun
still,
kids.
like I was even telling Katina before, there's certain things that like even taste buds wise that I eat them now because of convenience and stuff, but like I don't really enjoy certain foods as much as you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm already changing what I like, and now I just got to find like healthier things that I can deal with.
Once you stop, like once I stopped eating like M&Ms, like that kind of sugar candy, because I started eating like dark chocolate or different types of like actually healthier and like healthier just because it's like real cocoa and like maybe coconut sugar, you know, you can like, you're just like, you don't want that because it doesn't taste real anymore. Like that kind of.
Yeah, you don't want the processed stuff. It's more natural.
Lava chips, like it's not like I don't have like I'm not eating food, you know. And look, I still go out and eat chips and you know have my tacos and stuff. Like it's like live your life, but like it's about a balance. I don't think whenever you overdo something, it's just never gonna work. That's why I don't believe in the keto or the intermittent fasting. Like you'll plateau. Like it's just it's not set up for success.
Well, I hope that's the appeal that people will see in you is that it's more of a lifestyle change and it's not going to be like this strict diet that you put them on, that it's really somebody to help you gain your self-knowledge so you can lead a healthier lifestyle food-wise, but you know, whatever the reasoning may be. But before we forget, let's plug your Instagram page and how people can get in contact with you and things of that nature.
I don't have a website yet. Because I just
we'll bring you on again when you get one. Well, maybe in 3 months we'll have a little post.
Yeah, well, we should check in.
We will check in.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to check.
We're gonna have to check in.
Great.
Yes, you'll be back. This isn't the first and last. You'll be
we should
back.
have you back every month to see how.
Yeah, we need progress reports.
Yeah.
You know what, Chick? We can do the pic. Like I do ask clients to take if they want, if they're comfortable, like a forward picture and a side picture.
By that picture, you can promise you I'm not uncomfortable doing anything.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Sure you
I'll
want
give
that?
everybody the world to see me as unhealthy as I am.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm convinced. Not convinced myself, but I feel very confident about doing this. That what?
You did the same thing with the weight loss challenge.
No, that weight loss I had no intentions of doing. I don't want to go there. This is a new time.
It's always
You'll
a
see.
new time. This is always a new time for Chick.
I'm gonna
In the
It's way you
pavement.
live your life.
You got to start somewhere.
Katina,
right.
you
Like, our
look
friend-
back at old episodes. He's always trying to change his life. We've done this episode before.
Like the
No,
boy,
we haven't. Stop.
the boy who cried wolf, right?
You know what? Don't listen to them. We'll prove them all wrong.
Apparently, I'm not doing anything. I'm just helping you.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, I'll prove you guys all wrong.
Exactly.
But yeah, go into it. So you don't have your own webpage yet, but where could they get you on Instagram? And
Yeah, DM me like Chick did on Healing Katina. That's pretty much it. And then we'll set up a call. Or if you want to email me, it's contact@healingkatina.com.
So contact@healingkatina.com or healingkatina or @healingkatina for the Instagram page. Do you have Facebook or anything that you're on there with any of that stuff? Or
Yeah, but it's not really set up great, so we'll just stick to that.
all right, no problem.
Pretty grateful clients now, so I got pretty busy after school.
That's good. No, I mean, and how's Cali doing right now? We've been doing a lot of quarantine stuff, so another person from Cali. What's your thoughts on how everything's going there now?
They just shut us down again like a few days ago.
Ugh.
Everything.
Were they running reckless out there though? Were people as bad as they were in like Florida?
See, I'm a health nut, so this whole like I don't know how your stance on it. I haven't been listening to the recent podcast. Like, I do believe the numbers are going up because everyone's getting tested more. Like my sister, I got a text today. It was like she had the antibodies. Like,
Okay.
she was sick in February, and she's a smoker, you know, like, and she's healthy, but she also takes prescription pills and stuff like that. Like, and she's 30. But it was like kind of like a relief, like, oh, she got it, yes, you know.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's right. You almost want to get it
I
and like
kind of,
move
yeah,
past
I
it.
definitely want to get it. Or not now. I wish I had it.
well, you guys get it for free, like the testing. Ours isn't free out here, which
What do you
is
mean? You
Yeah, I
guys gotta
got the
pay for it
antibody
out there?
test for free.
not the antibodies. The test is free, but the antibodies you have to pay for it.
Oh, I didn't know
wow.
that actually.
But
Well,
I didn't see anyone running. I wasn't going to bars, but I was still like seeing a couple of friends here and there, going on hikes. It's on the restaurant thing. I've traveled a lot. Like I was in Napa last week in wine tasting.
any plane rides or anything like that where it was crazy or no?
No, I haven't. My cousin. No.
Okay.
Look, we're all gonna get it.
Yeah, I feel like it's only a matter of time.
Scared.
I just pray to God that if I get through it.
No, just get healthy now.
That's
just-
it. That's the other reason.
Set up your body for success because you are gonna get it. That's it. Like, no, you can't hide from it. So
Yeah.
I don't believe in this vaccine that's gonna come out either. So
Well, anything that's rushed like that they want to give to the masses is always something that you should be skeptical
Yeah.
about.
I give that a couple months to get tried out.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm definitely not gonna be the guinea pig.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the first wave.
But
Katina, listen,
I'm thinking about driving cross country when my brother does come out.
driving's not as bad as the flight though,
Oh, that's
because you
cool.
could kind of keep to yourselves.
I did. I drove like halfway across country.
Where'd you go?
I drove from New York to North Dakota in what was that, June, and it was pretty cool. A lot of
Yeah.
the country's open. A lot of the country's open, but like you're gonna get tired of being in the car.
Why no? I love driving there. Why not North Dakota?
We have friends there.
Okay.
He's a huge fan of North Dakota.
Huge fan,
Big
and I was
fan.
born there.
Dakota.
You were born in North Dakota, Chris?
Yeah, I told you this.
By
I
the
don't
way,
remember
you know, one of my friends listened to the podcast and said, "It's funny, Chris hates North Dakota, but he was born there." And I was like, "He was born there?"
Yeah,
Like,
I totally
didn't
forgot
know
about
he
him
was
telling
born
us
there.
that.
That's how.
Chris, that must
much
be on
I
a
don't
lost tape,
comprehend
man. I
stuff.
forgot about that. But Katina, thank you for joining us. This has been a pleasure. I hope people got some good health tips. I can't wait to prove the world wrong.
I can't
And
wait.
we look forward to having you on again. Hopefully, hopefully you'll have a ton more clients and a
Thank you.
success story in me.
Yes.
He'll be my golden child. He'll be my prodigy, my project.
Oh, listen, if
If you ever get a webpage, I
turn
want
That
to be like
before after picture is gonna be epic.
I might take my after tonight.
There's a great picture of him going around the internet, so that should be the before, and then we have an after. But
Maybe I should do that as my before and after, and then do a kick with a nice toned up body.
and you know
Yeah.
you're good at doing like what the Photoshop. So maybe
Yeah.
instead of the ball or whatever you're kicking, you're just kicking the old Tommy Chick.
Or kick a sun kick.
Ah, look at
Oh,
that.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's creative, B.
yeah.
But hey, guys, if you made it this far, review us. Reach out to Katina. She's definitely gonna help you out with the health stuff. And
You sound legit. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna.
that's the one thing. You're very legit, and that's why I'm on board with it. So I'll back you. And yeah, until the next time,
I do worry
everyone.
that if you work with him for 3 months, you'll be back in advertising by December. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's pray for the best.
Thank you. Thanks. So it'll be